1947, India got its freedom from 1,000 years of foreign rule. During this long period of slavery, Indians lost their anchor and identity. They forgot about their immense contribution to science and literature. After 1947, Indians are shaking off their slave mentality and again becoming illuminating members of the world community. Let us see what the great people thought about India's contribution. Sanskrit, the basic language of Hindu religion, is natural language processes, according to Will Durant, the world historian. He said, India was the motherland of our race, and Sanskrit the mother of Europe's languages. She was the mother of our philosophy, mother through the Arabs of much of our mathematics, mother through the Buddha of the ideals embodied in Christianity, mother through the village community of self-government and democracy. Mother India is in many ways mother of us all. Albert Einstein, Nobel laureate and physicist, said about Bijganit and Jyamiti, that is mathematics and geometry. He said, we owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery could have been made. Mark Twain, world-famous American author, said about Indian Arthashastra, economics, India is the cradle of human race, birthplace of human speech, mother of history, grandmother of legend, and the great-grandmother of tradition. Our most valuable and most constructive materials in the history of man are treasured up in India only. James Duff, the Scottish historian, said about Rasayana, that is chemical science, many of the advances in the science that we consider today to have been made in Europe were in fact made in India centuries ago. A.L. Bassam, famous historian, said about Ayurveda, biological science, etc. in his book, The Wonder That Was India. He said, Indian surgery remained ahead of European until the 18th century, when the surgeons of the East India Company were not ashamed to learn the art of rhinoplasty from Indians. Voltaire, French Enlightenment writer and reformer, said about Jyotir Tattva, Mahajagotik Vidya, that is astral and cosmological science. I am convinced that everything has come down to us from the banks of Ganga. Astronomy, astrology, metempsychosis, etc. It does not behoove us, who were only savages and barbarians, when these Indians and Chinese people were civilized and learned. Romarola, Nobel laureate and French philosopher, said about Prakriti Vidya, that is ecological and environmental science. If there is one place on the face of this earth where all the dreams of living men have found a home from the very earliest days when man began to to dream of existence. It is India. Dr. Arnold J. Toynbee, famous British historian, said about Nandan Tattva and Vastu Vidya, that is aesthetics and architectural science. It is already becoming clearer that a chapter which has a Western beginning will have to have an Indian ending if it is not to end in the self-destruction of human race. At this supremely dangerous moment in history, the only way of salvation for mankind is the Indian way. Max Muller, the famous German philologist and Orientalist, said about Nyaya Shastra, that is system of social, ecological ethics, logic and law. Whatever sphere of human mind you may select for your special study, whether it be language or religion or mythology or philosophy, whatever it be, laws or customs, primitive art or primitive science, everywhere you have to go to India, whether you like it or not, because some of the most valuable and most instructive material in the history of men are treasured up in India and in India only. Alice Bonar, Swiss art historian, said about Indian Shilpo Tattva and Natya Shastra, that is classical art. The ancient artist had a deep feeling of being himself an integrated part of the cosmos and participating in all its categories and elements, a feeling acquired by innumerable generations in uncounted centuries of meditative experience. The 7 sages of ancient India were Brahma Rishi Kashyapa, Jamadagni, Gautama, Bharadwaja, Vishwamitra, Vasishtha and Otri, who are the Saptarshis of the present cycle of creative flux known as Vaivashyata Manavantara. The Saptarshis or the 7 sages represents a primordial cosmic consortium of ancient Vedic India. They are the forerunners of all Indian knowledge system. To name a few, the genesis of cosmology, astral and positional astronomy, that is Jyotirtattva Mahajagatik Vidya, was forwarded by the lineage of Maharishi Bhrigu and Maharishi Vasishtha Shakti Parashar. It is also the foundation of mathematics, that is Bij Ganita, and geometry, that is Jamatra, that originated in ancient India. Health science, that is Ayurveda, goes to Maharishi Bharadwaj. Earth, terrestrial and built environmental science, that is Vastu and Vastu Vidya, belongs to Maharishi Vasishtha and other associated sages. The Saptarishi of modern Indian scientists have been compared with Saptarishi, that is 7 sages of India.